Okay, so this is, I suppose, part two in how I spend my weekends. So, my husband gets up for work at about 4:30. He goes to work and I get up about 7. And then I come in here and put the TV on, watch a few murder mysteries, and the TV goes off and everything goes off and we have a brownout. Now, I live in Florida and they're quite common. I did know that one of the estates further along had lost power for quite a while, but we don't. We're on a hospital circuit, so our power just goes out for a matter of a few seconds before it comes back on. We've lived here 15 years and never lost power yet, no matter how big the hurricane. And we've had 5 hurricanes go over our house in a matter of months. So that was quite fine, except for my lovely filter over here, which is supposed to be self-priming, did not. It doesn't do it in the best of times, and this time it just would not work. I tried all the tricks we usually have to get it started and couldn't. So I was a little bit worried because my husband would be home for about 6 hours. So what shall we do? Now, I do have my Beam Me Up Scotty filter here, so I wasn't that worried. I turned that right up and left that bubbling away there. And I took the lid off the top of the filter and started every now and then putting some water from the tank into the filter to make sure nothing was to dry out. That seemed to work. I did that on and off for all the time my husband was at work, and when he came in he tried his usual tricks and nothing worked. And it seems that it did get completely clogged up, so it couldn't restart after the brownout. So we took it out and gave it a good clean, and it started straight away. I just don't think it's big enough for this tank. There's too much of a load in here, so I will replace it with a filter for maybe a 120-gallon tank. This one is a Aqueon 75 quiet. It's not really that quiet, and I don't really like it. You can't put enough stuff inside of it. I've filled it as much as I can with different bioballs and everything, but it's just not really what I want. It does. The fish have just fed, so we are pretty grubby at the moment. The water's not that clear. But I think I will change it. Hello, Victor. And get myself a new one. I will settle in the canister filter for a few weeks first. But living in Florida, we have really bad storms and we have brownouts quite often, and I can't have a filter that doesn't turn on. Now, I have had a few people say, well, why do you have sponge filters in your tanks if you've got quite good filtration? I've got a really big canister filter in my other tank and a sponge filter, but sponge filters come on really quickly, and I know that if I'm out or I'm asleep and I don't notice that they've got some filtration in the tank until we can deal with it. Also, of course, if we did happen to lose power, having sponge filters are so much easier to put on a battery or a small electric powered generator, which you may say, oh, the electric's gone, but they've got batteries in them. So yes, everybody in here seems to be doing quite well. I don't know what made Sapphire ill in here. She seems to be fine in the little tank. I've got a few of those females. Those little females were born very, very crooked like that. I didn't have the heart to just get rid of them, and they seem to do quite well in there. So anyway, so I just thought I'd tell you about my exciting weekend.